Hello, I will be showing you how to install cab lights on a GMC Jimmy. However, this process will work on most trucks. The tools you will need will be multiple lights, a multimeter, a 3/32, as well as a 9/64 bit, along with an electric drill, a T15 size Torx bit driver, along with a standard Phillips and a small flathead screwdriver, a rag, a ratchet, a 3-inch extension, as well as an 8 and 10 millimeter socket, a chalk marker, wire strippers, and an ATM add circuit fuse tap. You will also need a cab light kit. I will leave a link in the description for the kit I used. The first step is to locate your battery and then locate the negative battery terminal. Then you will disconnect the negative battery terminal using your 8 millimeter socket. Then wrap the negative terminal in a rag to prevent any accidental contact. The next step is to remove the front vehicle headliner. So you will first locate your sun visors and remove these 3 bolts on either side of the vehicle. This will be using your Torx bit. Then, using your small flathead screwdriver, pry the clip open that connects the mirror light. Next, we will remove this top storage container. First, you must take off this light cover to expose these 2 bolts. There's also one in the front here, and these are Phillips. So using your Phillips screwdriver, remove the 3 bolts to drop down the storage container. Next, you must disconnect the reading lamps and the temperature gauge wires from the storage panel. And then you're left with these 2 wires hanging down and an opening in the headliner. Next, you must remove this safety handle. You don't have to use air tools, I'm just using it to speed up the process. Once the 2 bolts are loosened, you can then remove the handle. Next, you must pry off the A-pillar plastic covering on either side of the vehicle. Then the headliner can then be pulled down from the front to expose the bare metal from the top of the vehicle. Here's a diagram of my lighting setup. However, you can do it however you'd like. I used a chalk marker to draw out the desired location of my lights. Next, using a marker and the bottom gasket as a template, I drew the position of the 3 holes on the roof. The outside holes are for the mounting screws, while the middle is for the wire to go into the cab. The front screw is what grounds the lights to the vehicle. The tape also prevents cracking of the paint when drilling. Next, after the 3/32 pilot holes were drilled, I drilled a 9/64 size hole into each of the spots. Repeat this process for each of the lights. Next, the wire is threaded through the middle hole and the base of the light is screwed into the roof, with the provided screws being careful not to strip them. The light bulb can then be inserted. The top gasket is then placed and then is compressed by the top shell of the light, which is also tightened down with a small Phillips screw. I also placed a small rubber O-ring on each of these screws to prevent future leaking. Then repeat this process. Next, locate your interior fuse box. Then test different fuse slots. I chose slot number 23 as it is the rear wiper, which is not used often, and it provides 12 to 14 volts. The fuse is then removed and the negative battery terminal is reconnected. Next, set your multimeter to at least 20 DC volts. Test the fuse slot with the vehicle off. You want to see 0 current. Then start the vehicle. Now we should see anywhere from 12 to 14 volts. We do not want to have current running through it when the vehicle is off because we do not want our lights on when the vehicle is off. Next, we will attach the fuse tap to our lead wire, which will be connected to each light to create a parallel circuit. First, using your wire strippers, strip the end off of your lead wire. Do this by using the correct stripping size and then wrapping it around the wire multiple times to create a cut. Once that is done, the rubber shells should be easily pulled off. Then you can cut the wire to size. We want at least ½ an inch showing. And then twist it. Then it will be placed into the end of the fuse tap and crimped to join the two together using the crimping portion of our wire cutters. Then our lead wire is all done. Next, two 15-amp fuses are put into the fuse tap, one for the existing circuit and one for the new circuit. It can then be plugged into the desired spot, giving us power. Make sure to disconnect the battery again. Next, run the lead wire up the A-pillar. On my vehicle, there were metal clips already there that I was able to thread it through to hold it in place. Next, the lead wire is ran through the bottom of the splicer, and the wire to each light is ran through the top of each included splice. It is then pressed closed with pliers to complete a parallel circuit. This is repeated for each light. Here you can see the finished product. Each wire from each light is connected to the lead wire, which is connected to the fuse tap. Each light is also grounded to the body using the front mounting screw to complete the circuit. At this point, the headliner can be reinstalled the same way it was taken apart. Here we can see the finished product. Cab lights installed, all costing under $30. If desired, a toggle switch can be added to any portion of the first part of the lead wire. I chose to not use a switch as I like the lights to be on whenever the vehicle is on. Here we can see a before and after. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.